But it's a real pleasure to be here. I've always had a bit of a connection with Fourth Dimension. I joined Toastmasters in 2006. The club was in a state of great disrepair. And a couple of months later, I was asked to get onto the committee, and that made me nervous. And coincidentally, I discovered there was a guy working in my department, and we were talking, and I said, "Oh, there's this Toastmasters thing." He said, "Yeah, I've been a Toastmaster. I was a Toastmaster at Fourth Dimension." But he said, I'm willing to get on the committee with you. Adrian Buerta, you know him? Adrian Buerta, some of you must know him. Eric knows him, because he told me, at Fourth Dimension there was this most wonderful person, the most powerful, inspirational speaker you'll ever see on the planet. Eric VG. And at my first cot, there was this enormous man with an enormous voice. So there was Eric. And then when I decided to be an area governor, I was talking to Eric outside KPMG, as you do after a contest, and I said, "Now listen here, what's the procedure? I think I might want to be this thing called an area governor. I'm not really sure. What do I have to do?" He said, "You're it." Hey? Well, you are one. Huh? That's all that's required. It was a sad state of affairs back then. Hopefully today we need to be a little bit more, because more people want to practice leadership. So between Adrian and Eric, and then of course Richard Rich, whom I met at some point, who's been a mentor and an influence and a supporter and a colleague and all that good stuff, I've had a close relationship with many people from Fourth Dimension. So it was a great pleasure for me to receive the invite from Elaine to break one of my non-breakable rules, one Toastmasters event per week. And I was at one last night, but I said, Fourth Dimension, I've got to be here. So here I am to say a few words. And I know Fourth Dimension has a reputation for being one of the better clubs. Richard tells me this all the time. So I thought I'd better check it out. Do a little bit of research. And I must say, it's interesting, being the best often depends on how you measure a thing. It's all in the way you measure. So if one measures clubs by the number of consecutive years that they've achieved President's Distinguished with 10 DCP points, not 9, because you can get it with 9. If you just go with 10, then Fourth Dimension is the best club in Southern Africa. Yeah. I hate to say this, but I have to. 6 consecutive years, not 7. 6. Hopefully this year will be number 7. I noticed that you need a CC and another AC, and you have your 10 points again for the 7th year in a row. As it happens, if you measure it slightly different, Cape Town Club have been President's Distinguished for every single year that was available on the data. So that's going back 8 years. Yeah. So if you measure the years of being President's Distinguished, they're the top. And Ernst & Young, also in Cape Town, come second with 7. And then Third Dimension with 6 in a row. And then after that, a whole lot of common mix and match of many people who've done it for 5 years. So that's an outstanding accomplishment. As a club, you've done tremendously well. It's something to be truly proud of. You've produced so many wonderful people that have contributed so much to this organization. And it's a real pleasure to celebrate this 10 years and wish you all the best for the next 10, whoever's in charge.